Ever since a little boy, I always dreamed of going fast. I grew up on one simple phrase: if you're not first, you're last. Now, coming up in the sim racing world, Prodigy Racing League is holding their second inaugural, or third or fourth, I don't know which fucking one this shit is, but they're hosting their iRacing Radical SR8 Cup, with the chance of 2 Prodigy passes are up for grabs to be able to race in the Prodigy week and then possibly get the chance to be drafted to a pro racing team in the PRL. So that's what this is about. Up for grabs, the golden ticket, the Prodigy Pass. This pretty much just gives you access to the Prodigy Week being held later this year, kind of like their NFL Combine, as you would say. Going full out there. Derrick Henry running a fucking 3.3 on the 60-yard dash, 40-yard dash, whatever they do. The rules are simple, though. They have stage 1 format, which is pretty much a regular season, where they're going to have 7 weeks of 7 different courses, holding races Friday to Monday, 9 different races. And they're going to be taking the top 24 point winners after the 7 weeks with 2 overall drop weeks. And they're going to be taking the top 24 from that. And then they're going to be taking the top 6 from the time trial section to move on to stage 2. Stage 2 is going to be a 3-race format championship with the highest point score across all the races, crowned the Prodigy Pass winner, winning the golden ticket to be featured in the regular season and move on. So what I did, I looked right at week 1, VIR, full course, hop straight into training. And if you ever race VIR, it's kind of a hard track. But, coming down this first straight, we're going to get the braking zone kind of right, little out wide. We're going to get back on the brake, back on the throttle. One thing I've really been working on is coming in when I'm turning into corners. I got light steering, and then in the middle of the corner, I turn heavy and then back out to light. But this is probably the hardest section right here, section 2, when you come around this little double right-hander into the S's. Make sure you're getting up on those curbs. We're just launching it down this straight. Right here, I lose a couple tenths. I'm not sure why. I'm flat out all the way through here, all the way around this right-hander. And then brake, drop it down to 5th, fly around that corner. Make sure you're using the track limits. And then this is where most drivers lose a lot of their time, kind of just glide the car around that corner. And like I said, when you're using the throttle, man, light steering, kind of just let the car steer for you. And then you kind of just do the rest from there. You counter steer it from there. But we're going to fly down this straight. I do gain a couple tenths on this straight. I think maybe because I was using a different setup than what the actual race is using. Hard right-hander into this left. Not going to really want to lift there. I'm going to keep going all the way. Make sure you get all the way to the left, right over that track, and you just want to floor it coming around that long right-hander. So this is probably my 6th lap that I ran. It actually is my 6th lap that I ran in my first training session. And that's going to give us a 142.783. So that's not the fastest. I've seen a 139.99, and that was set by Patrick Thompson of Williams Sim Racing Academy. So I don't know if you guys have heard of him. Pretty popular dude. But yeah,